right, here we go. 50 seconds to go before the line goes white. This is the event final of the Apex Group Bermuda Sail Grand Prix here on the great sound, the Rolex SailGP Championship. It's Australia, it's Germany, and it's Spain.
Los Gallos move back here. They manoeuvre towards the line. We'll see where they all shape up with 30 seconds to go. Deutsche Bank were the first ones to manoeuvre to the line. Spain wanted to have a bit of space. Now, there is going to be a tight start here. I quite like where the Bonds Flying Roos are. At the moment, the hunted are the Germans. They have the Rolex pole predictor on them, but I think they're there to be shot at. Australia and the Bonds Flying Roos look well positioned. Here come the Spanish. Big move by Bottini. He winds it up over the top. 14 seconds to go. It's all about your timing now. Who's going to get that right? The Rolex pole predictor starts on the master, Tom Slingsby. He winds it up towards the line. Watch for them to turn it left. They all put the bow down. Speed's coming. Who's got it right? Beautiful by all three teams, but on the inside, I think it's going to be Tom Slingsby that's going to lead at Mark 1. He said it's going to be a boat speed race. Right, what do you got now, Los Gallos? Can you charge him down?
The heavyweight bout continues. Australia and Spain going toe-to-toe as they approach mark number 1. And look at the Bonds Flying Roos, plenty of room.
Yeah, it's got a big lead here, but I think the big thing, the big race here, there is space, there is more clear air. Don't let the Australians just sail away. Right. Stay with them, wait for the mistake, push, keep making the right decision.
The decision's going to be whether you race the boats or whether you race the course. I think Tom alluded to the fact that there's more open space here, but the choice for Los Gallos is going to be, do you put pressure by just staying close to them, or do you make a strategic decision and split away from them?
Here it is. Spain's going to make the first move. Germany's going to go with them.
Yeah, I think they'll all match here. I think the crucial one's going to be gate 2. I think when they get to this next gate, Australia obviously will have the first pick.
Right.
So given that you've got, you know, Tom Slingsby, Tash Bryant at the back of the boat, they're used to making good decisions. So they're going to have a look at where's the most wind, how do we sail the less distance. They'll make that choice. Now, if it's an obvious decision, Spain will have to follow. But if it's even, if it's 50-50, that'll be when you roll the dice on board the Spanish boat.
As they approach gate number 2, the DP World Gate, we check in down on the water with Lisa Darman. And Lisa, is this a race where one mistake is going to determine the winner?
I think so. I mean, the Spanish and the Australians haven't made many mistakes all day, so I'm not sure we're going to see that. Being out in front is the key, but with the gate bias, that could save you 50, 100 meters. So as the wind changes, you might be able to make little gains there, so that's what you should be looking out for.
And Steve, are you surprised that everyone's opting for that lower gate? I mean, Spain and Germany are all going to follow the Australians.
Well, no, because I think they would have looked at that and said it's definitely better to turn right. So you don't ever win anything by obviously doing the wrong thing. You've got to be relentless. Now, the Spanish here, this could be a mistake. They got a little slow. They waited a bit too long for that manoeuvre. If Australia stay foiling, this will be a massive gain. Magic numbers 30. Can Waterhouse keep it up? It looks like he's going to keep it on the foils here. He's done it.
Look at the different angles.
Well, the Spanish have popped back on the foil quickly. Amazing work by the Joel Rodriguez there, the flight controller. When they come back together, the Spanish will have the right of way. Spain are fast. They've got the hammer down, but the Aussies are back up to speed now. I think what we're seeing right at the moment is these top 2 boats have dropped the hammer. They're moving away. They're going fast. Look at how the boats are lent on top of them. They've got the windward hull close to the water. Wind is just a thing. Spain are almost looking like they're throwing a lot of manoeuvres at them early here, Hannah.
Yeah, I think the thing that I've noticed, the difference between these two boats, the Spanish boat speed never drops quite as much as some of the others within the manoeuvre, but their top speed isn't quite as high as the Australians. So it's interesting to see how that plays out through the rest of the race.
Well, now we've got a big split, Todd, okay? So this is the first roll of the dice by the Spanish. Had they stayed with the Australians, then they'd have definitely been following them to the next gate, probably having to sail in disturbed wind. So now it's a little bit on Mother Nature.
It's just so smooth the way they operate. Jason Waterhouse, Tom Slingsby, Ian Jensen. Perfection.
That was really slick, that manoeuvre. Look how much they've got the boat lent over, so much they're pushing for extra horsepower.
Let's go down on the water. She's the closest to the action. Lisa Darmanin, what do you like? Look into your crystal ball. Who made the right call on that leg?
Well, the Australians, they push wide early on, which means they're going to lay in one here, and I think that they're going to make a huge gain, whereas Los Gallos, they're going to want to turn left because that's the bias, but it's going to cost them a lot. It's a really tricky manoeuvre to pull off.
See there, can't you, Hannah? It looks so much closer to the one the Australians going around.
Yeah, that's right, and it's even harder to pull off that manoeuvre that Los Guys are going to have to do if they want to turn left, because they've actually dropped one crew member since the last race. There's only 5 people on board. You lose one of the grinders, so you've got fewer options with the wing trimming.
Now, this is a desperation move by the Spanish here, Todd. They're doing definitely the wrong thing. It doesn't mean it won't work out if they get lucky and they get a gust of wind, but this is the roll of the dice, because if they knew if they just stayed there, they're definitely going to be second, maybe third. This is a full roll of the dice by the Spanish. Have they found some magic?
They're rocking her in.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah, happy to roll this down.
Yeah, doesn't look great their way. Doesn't look amazing ours either.
Ever the optimist, Tom.
No higher for me.
I don't know if you've ever watched Winnie the Pooh, but it's a bit like Eeyore being on the back of the boat, I think, in that moment there.
Debbie Downer.
Yeah, well, come on, Tom.
Look at that.
Cheer up. Anyway.
And to Lisa's point, look at the gain.
Yeah, huge, massive gain
200
there for the
meters.
Bond's Flying Ruse, and now it's just a case of setting up for a nice right turn at the bottom, leading out that way, keep the boat fast, and you're going to bring it home 2 in a row for the Australians, I'd say, from here. But mistakes can happen. They just don't tend to happen often on that Australian boat.
And that's the view from Germany Deutsche Bank as they look to the rest of the field. Good battle now for second place as the Bond's Flying Ruse have nearly 200 meters on everyone else. But look how fast the Germans are coming in at 65, 66 kilometers an hour.
Yeah, setting a fast angle to get behind. We're going to have a split at the bottom between those two, but it's really a race for second and third, I think, now, Hannah.
Yeah, it is, and that's really tightened up. I think we've seen a couple of times Los Guys, they've taken that other gate option in finals, and it's done really well for them, but obviously it wasn't to be this time.
They don't often do well doing what is definitely wrong.
Yeah, I think especially on a course like this where there are quite a lot of nodes, the breeze is shifting, it's changing a little bit, but not too much. There are definitely different race courses where you'd be happier to take that chance. We know a little bit more about this course, and it was always going to be a bit of a punt from their part.
So it's a 14-second lead as they went through the last gate for the Bond's Flying Ruse, the winners of the last event, looking to make it 2 for 2.
The manoeuvring's just good. They made a couple of sloppy errors in the last race, but again, see the tilt on the platform there. That's just showing quite how aggressively they're sailing the boat. Jason Waterhouse that we're in there, he's on the coffee grinders there. Little movement forward with his right hand, little movement back. That's lift off the foil, lift on the foil, lift off, lift on. Constantly just adjusting, anticipating what the boat's going to do next.
Copy. Sail at 48.
Unbelievable. Look at the dexterity on it.
Letting it tick off.
Hey, coming righty now. Coming righty now.
Perfect phase with the wind. So they're just saying the wind's coming round towards that right-hand side. So if we just sail out this way a little bit, we'll be able to manoeuvre. We'll minimise some distance because the shift sail gives us less distance to sail. So they're perfectly lined up with the wind shifts.
Ooh, tight crossing in the back. So the battle is now on for second place between Spain and Germany Deutsche Bank. And Germany Deutsche Bank coming on fast.
Well, and if Australia are right and the wind is turning to the right, that's good news for Germany because they're heading where the Australians are. So potentially here the Germans are going to move themselves up to second.
I don't know what Lisa Darmanin said to Tom Slingsby before that final race, but whatever she said, it put a bee in his bonnet. He is off and flying.
Todd, whatever this almanac that Ryan Reynolds found one event ago about sailing from 1856 or something like that, that's got some serious gold dust in it because that has completely revolutionised it. Ben Durham, the coach, I think, sat ashore with that right now, reading out the details. This Australian team's just looks so good. Massive improvement in their performance.
Must have found a load of cats in Rio and now in Bermuda because right now it is all about the Bond's Flying Ruse, and with a win here, this is going to give them a massive lead in the overall here as event number 5 comes to a conclusion, and it will be the Bond's Flying Ruse, this final maneuver here with one hole in the water but plenty of time to burn.
Right of way Germany. Spain are not quite in that circle. They would love to be in that circle to have the right of way. They've got to keep clear. Germany need to stay on the foil. Spain manoeuvres in by Great positioning by Botin. He's going to try. Oh, that is brilliant by Botin. What a manoeuvre. Glided it in front.
But in the end, the Emirates winning moment for the second event in a row goes to the Bond's Flying Ruse. The green and gold reigns supreme in Bermuda.
What a result there. Spain did a good job for a second, but wow, the Bond's Flying Ruse just on fire.
Well, it's about what you thought, Stevie, as we were looking at practice and some of the numbers earlier this week. Spain looked fast, and you called it. They're going to be in the final. Germany may be the biggest surprise, but a great learning experience for a team that continues to get better.
Well, fantastic. 2 events in a row, getting better. Brilliant news for Germany Deutsche Bank.
But in the end, no one could match the strength and the speed of the Bonds Flying Roos with their co-owner Ryan Reynolds here in Bermuda. It is the Australians that win the event.